financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is changing environment, changing scene for elder care. The VA adopts a new look-back rule. Jenny Lingl, good to see you.
Hi, Ken. Good to be here today.
Pat Samasco, this is your
How are
topic.
you?
This is what it's all about
There
today.
it is. Today I'm on the hot seat.
Brian Small.
Just coming into the picture.
Well, I'm glad to see you made it, Brian. Here's your book. Thank you for joining us. Try and see if you can mic up.
Got stuck in traffic.
And if you can't
On the
get
way
the
from
mic,
your office?
let's look at the bright side. If the mic doesn't work, we don't have to hear from Brian.
We missed
So-
Brian.
The important topic today. You know, we've talked about it before on the show, and in the context of Medicaid planning, and then we always talk about there's this aid and attendance program benefit for vets.
Right.
And as I understand it, there's some big changes that have just happened today.
They've been talking about the changes for quite a while, but they finally had implemented them. They come out in October, or it came out in October, where it goes from
Well, before you tell us the change, kind of run through us what the basic program is.
So veterans benefits called the aid and attendant care or the improved pension. If you're a wartime veteran or surviving spouse of a wartime veteran, they offer you extra income that'll help pay for in-home care, assisted living care, or even nursing home care if you're waiting to get Medicaid.
Yeah, and I understand the numbers are pretty good.
Oh, they're awesome.
If you've got a single vet, it's like $18.29 a month. Surviving spouse, $11.76. If you had two married vets, you probably don't see that too often.
We've had a few. It's about $2,500 a
Yeah.
month. Married couples, about $2,200 a month, which is nice. So in January, tax-free. It's a tax-free benefit. So it really keeps mom and dad home. Because the only thing that's going to keep them home out of the nursing home is extra income coming in.
So how, before the changes, and then I want to go through them, how did you become eligible for that up until these changes that have occurred?
So there's eligibility and then there's qualification. Eligibility, you have to be a wartime veteran, which is World War II, Korea, Vietnam, or now we're in the Gulf War actually. You need to have something other than a dishonorable discharge, and you have to be over 65 years old.
No, can I ask a quick question? You just said Gulf War. I mean, what about conflict in Afghanistan? What if you are?
Yeah, we're still in a wartime right now.
So, but you have to be in a military active hot zone, so to speak.
No, you don't have to be in country. So my dad was in the Korean War. He fought it out in Colorado. No one invaded Colorado under his watch. Or if you're a secretary, or if you're the frontline guy, you're all
Were the bullets
eligible.
flying in Colorado?
Not when he was there. He guarded everybody.
Now, is there an age requirement? So
Well,
in
you have to
addition-
be disabled, and the VA says if you're over 65, you're automatically classified as disabled. You can get it if you're under 65, but you have to prove your disability.
Well, wait a second.
Okay.
I'm at the cusp here because I'm at 64, and I
Right.
know what this is. I know what you just said is going to come back and haunt me because my dear friend Brian is going to then announce the day that we're celebrating my 65th birthday. He's going to say,
taken
in
over.
the eyes of the VA, you're disabled,
Right.
Ken. Get out.
Well, you're disabled because you can't serve in a war zone.
Oh, once you're at that
That's
age.
what I understand, is you can't serve in a war zone, so they consider you meeting that criteria. If you were 64 like you can, you have a little bit of a mental illness and you can't work and you can't do that type of stuff, then you could prove
still
that you're disabled.
qualify.
Yeah. We've had people that are under 65 get it.
So, all right, so you meet that criteria, but you
So now you're
also had to have
eligible.
some kind of income need, didn't
Well, so first of all, it has to be wartime. So right now we're kind of between the Korean War and the Vietnam War. We're in that Cuban Missile Crisis. People don't qualify if they're in that time zone, in that war period. So now you're eligible. Now to be qualified, you need to have assets under, the old days was a house and 80,000, under the, and income. You're spending your income on your care expenses.
So what do you mean by that, spending your income on your...
So
So did you have to have more expenses than you had income?
Correct. More care expenses. So mom makes $2,000 a month, and she moves to American House or Sunrise or another assisted living, and it's rent. She's just paying rent, and she's paying $2,100 a month for her room, and she's getting meals at
So it's $100 more than her
It doesn't
income?
count. It
No.
doesn't count because it's just rent. If she's there because she needs help getting showers and getting dressed and transferring from bed to the wheelchair to the bathroom, and she's paying $500 a month for those extra services, those extra services are only there because she's in that protected environment. So the rent and the extra services
Count.
combined
And then
count.
she's over 2,000,
Yeah.
and then she gets the whole benefit?
Yes.
Well, now, does she also have to, from the standpoint of qualifying, similar to Medicaid, you have to need certain things, like
Yeah.
you have to need certain
Like shower assist.
shower assist, food
Well, what-
assist,
You need
meal medicine.
two activities of daily living. So it's assets under the limit, spending the income on your care, and you need help with two activities of daily living
Now,
or
was
more.
there anything you could do if the assets exceeded the 80,000?
Oh, back in the that's called the good old days.
That's the big,
That's
that's the
called
big
the good
issue of
old
the
days.
change.
In other words,
Okay.
2 months ago.
Well, the good old
So
days
now-
were the days that came right up to October
October
18th.
18th.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's no longer the good old days.
Well, you know what the funny is, things go on and budgets get worse, and we start restricting our spending, the government spending. This now may be considered the good old days in the future, but yeah, that.
So up until October 18th, what could you do?
So there was no look back period. Medicaid says if you give away assets, you need to do it 5 years before you're in the nursing home. VA finally adopted a look back period.
So
in the
before that, there was none. So if
No.
I had $200,000 in the bank, I could give away 130 the day before I applied.
yeah, you could.
But not anymore.
Not anymore.
Now
So-
you got it's a 3-year look back.
We're coming up to the break.
Yeah.
There's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
We got to go through
We'll
it.
hash it out.
So are there still planning opportunities? It's still a
absolutely.
good benefit, but now qualifying is going to be more difficult.
Well, you need to start earlier planning. The bottom line is you just have to start early. Like any good plan, you have to start
let's
early.
take a break. When we come back, we'll explain what the change is and how to deal with it going forward.
Right.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
All right, so Pat, so the law changed. What was the change?
Yeah, well, first I can just hear the phones ringing off the hook about Colorado being invaded. Yes, we know Red Dawn. They invaded Colorado in the movie Red Dawn, but
I thought it was a good movie.
it was
And
a
that's
great
why
movie. Right.
Colorado qualified for
Yeah,
being
well,
a wartime
why,
vet.
absolutely, right.
Yeah, all because of the movie. And that was Patrick Swayze. There you
Thank
go.
our producer for reminding us about all that.
So the old days, we needed to have a house in under $80,000. So if mom had 150 grand, we could set up these special trust agreements, irrevocable trusts, and you could transfer $70,000 from mom to the irrevocable trust, and she was asset qualified for VA benefits.
And you would do that just before you went in and applied?
We do it all day long, and it was allowed for VA, and they finally realized that there's too much planning going on, that they switch it to this new 3 to a 5-year look back.
So how does that work?
So with VA, the maximum limit is about $2,200 a month. So I might need a calculator for this. So if mom has $150,000 and she transferred $70,000, VA would say that she gave away 22 months worth of a VA
So you
benefit.
take the 70,000 divided by the 2,200.
Yeah. And that's how they would determine. But that's how. They actually did something better for families. They increased it from $80,000 to $122,000 that you can have. So you can have a house, you can have a car, you can have a funeral, and you can have $122,000
But
roughly.
there's a catch, right? The catch is if that first year's income, 1 year's
They
income.
include that, yeah. So, well, yeah, it's interesting, but they include it, but then they deduct it. So if you have $80,000 in the bank and you make $40,000, that's your $120,000.
Okay,
right?
but if you have 120 in the bank and make 40,000,
Now you have 160.
now you're over.
But they deduct your income from your medical expenses. So you have to be spending that $40,000 on your care. So 160 minus 40, you're back down to the 122.
So then you're back down.
Yeah, then you're back down to the 122.
Okay, so
Which
it's
would
not
then
a-
qualify you for the 2,200 or 1,100
Exactly
or
right.
Now,
1,600.
So to
when
the
you say
extent-
medical expenses, are you talking
Care
about?
expenses.
Okay.
Care expenses. That's what people get
so
caught
if
up.
you have care expenses of 40,000 and you had Social Security income between husband and wife of 40,000, it wouldn't hurt you.
Correct.
If your other assets were up to 123.
Correct.
Are you entitled to hire family members?
You are. You are.
So could
not
you?
And that's how we got my dad. Yeah, yeah. Wives take care of their husband. They say, we want to get paid for this. No, you can't get paid.
So the kids can get paid.
The kids can get paid, and that's how we did it for my dad and my mom. We hired my brother to take care of them.
So let's just say the benefit would be $2,200.
Correct, married
And
couple.
the income is the 40,000, as you suggest. So now they've got 160. Can they hire somebody the day before
Yeah.
they request the VA benefits,
Yeah.
and it's $2,200 a month,
Yeah.
and that's what?
Yeah.
So really, you've got a $40,000 wiggle room there.
Well, it depends on your income always, of
And then
course.
again,
so, yeah.
going back to what we were saying in the first segment, that for that 40,000 to qualify as care, they need to be in a facility that provides those services so that the rent is included in the as medical care.
Let's drop that down to like 30,000
Okay.
a year. So let's go on a month. They make 3,000 a month, and if they're at home, because no one wants to go to a facility, they always start at home. So if they're hiring their son to take care of them, or they're hiring the company to come in and take care of them, the combination of the both, they just need to be spending their income on their care expenses. Doesn't include
3,000 a
food,
month.
doesn't include rent.
That can
doesn't
happen
include-
pretty
Oh,
quickly based
absolutely,
on
yeah.
what these companies charge, and when you think,
absolutely.
especially if you need
Oh, yeah.
round-the-clock care.
In fact,
17
what
to
they
20 bucks an
charge is a
hour,
fortune.
not even a
Yeah,
thought.
more than the 3,000 a month.
What every family does, they hire the nice lady down the street for $10 an hour. right? Everyone gets the lady down the street for $10 an hour. She has to sign a form saying that she's making $10 an hour, and this is the work that needs to be done, and that's what she's going to do. And she says, well, I don't want to do that because I don't want to pay taxes on it.
Jenny's taxes.
There's no
So
under
how
the
do you get-
table.
No,
I wish
there's
people
no under the
understood
table.
that.
What's the solution there?
Pay her $12 an hour.
And whatever,
It's
pay your
still a great
taxes.
deal.
Right.
But they have to sign that form. A son or daughter has to sign the form saying that they're doing the care.
So if you're out there and you're the caregiver and you're already in that mindset that says, I'm not going to work if they're going to take taxes out on me, that's not the right way to think about it for two reasons. Number one is they'll pay you more so that you get the money to pay your taxes. And then number two, if you're paying into the system, when you retire, you have Social Security. If you live your whole life under the table, hiding from the government, working for cash, great, you don't pay any taxes, and when you're 65 and you apply for Social Security, you get $4 a month.
Yeah, remember we had that show about paying the caregiver, workers' comp issues, if you get hurt, all that type of stuff. So sometimes it may be better for that nice lady to go get hired by the company and have the company do the taxes and the workers' comp.
Well, I have
and all
this
that.
issue right now. Don't forget the third part is just because you haven't signed that little note doesn't
It's still
mean
income.
you
It's not
won't
income.
eventually be audited, and then the Internal Revenue Service won't figure that out and compute that and end up
And
having to pay
the
tax and
funniest
penalty.
thing is that the tax on those on that type of money is
Minimal.
nearly
Nothing.
zero.
Self-employment.
If
It's
you're
really
keeping
just
up with it,
self-employment
right.
tax.
Yeah.
It's just payroll taxes because they're going to be under the threshold for income
So this
tax.
is really important time,
good
though,
point, Brian.
because Medicaid only pays for nursing home care. I was actually in the Wall Street Journal this week about how government benefits don't pay for in-home care or assisted living. The VA will help pay for that. So that's really the benefit that you have to look for to help get that extra income.
So with this look-back rule, if you do have the assets over the limit, are you out of the game, or does Pat Simasko have a end-around strategy
Well, there's
to
always,
solve the problem?
well, it depends. It's always a timing issue, and it's always you have to look at each situation. So maybe we'll get into that the next time.
All right, yeah, we're coming up to a break, and come back. I want to ask you exactly that question.
Okay.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Will I outlive my money?
Medicaid is so confusing.
A will, or do I need a trust?
What if mom needs to go in a nursing home?
At Simasko Law, we have the answers to all of these questions. Our attorneys will eliminate the confusion and develop a plan that's right for you. We are dedicated to veterans benefits, assisted living, and nursing home care. Simasko Law can help prepare you for a long future. Call Simasko Law today.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. Want to remind our viewers, listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, Tuesdays 10 a.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m. Then on KISS 105.9, Sundays 7 a.m. And then catch Law and Reality Here and Now on WMUZ AM 1200, Saturdays at 11 and at 2:30 p.m. and on WMUZ FM, Saturdays at 11 p.m. Be sure and sign up for our monthly contest. Free $50 Visa gift card, Law and Reality hat, and copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Just go to the website, pop your name in on the home page on the box that's there, and you're entered. We have seminars coming up on Wednesday, December 12th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. A smart present for your family, give them an estate plan. We're going to go through all the elements of an estate plan, documents you must have while you're living, documents addressing your death, how to address probate issues. And here's the point. It's holiday time. Treat your family to something that they need and put that estate plan in place. I'm not saying make that the exclusive gift to all the family members, but make it one to the family as a whole. It's a smart play. Attendees receive a $300 gold certificate off the cost of any estate plan. Sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Then on Wednesday, January 9th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., we have a debt relief seminar called It's Time to Eliminate the Debt. Start the new year off right, get your financial plan in gear. Step one is get rid of the debt so you can start saving money. We're going to go through all the methods that we have to accomplish that, solutions outside of bankruptcy, solutions using bankruptcy. The question is to fit the right solution to the facts. If we can solve the debt outside of bankruptcy, that's what we do. If bankruptcy is the better option, then we lay out the options for you. Jenny Lingl is going to participate with a special segment on how to resolve tax issues. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. Debt and estate planning issues with Brian, elder law issues with Pat Samasco, tax issues with Jenny, business issues with me, workers' comp and Social Security disability issues with Jeff Kirshner. Just go to the site, check on the box, and we'll contact you for a free consult, or you can always call 888-235-HELP and come on in. Also, check out our free reports, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formation Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan, Pat Samasco's Retiree's Guide to Social Security, and the newest report, Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by Jenny Lingl and myself. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Samasco Law, Jeff Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Nothing provokes panic and fear like the threat of a school shooting. Unfortunately, we've seen a sharp increase in students making copycat threats in order to gain notoriety. I'm Macomb County Prosecutor Eric Smith. Students, this behavior will not be tolerated. Felony charges will be brought against anyone who threatens the safety of our schools. Parents, please talk to your children and pass along this message. If you threaten our schools, it will cost you your future.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Okay, so you've got this look-back rule now. Now, I know, because we've been doing this a long time together, when we talk about Medicaid, Medicaid's had that 5-year look-back rule for several years now.
Right, long time.
And I know you have a workaround on that, because you tell me when husband and wife come in and they haven't transferred assets prior to the 5 years, you have a way of saving all of their money.
From the nursing home.
From the nursing home.
Completely different.
How does it,
Completely.
What do you do in this case for the VA benefit?
Well, right now, people always ask, well, how much can I give away without having any look-back period? And they always say, the IRS says you can give away $14,000 a year. And the answer is, yeah, but you can't. Right now, Medicaid says you can only give away about $300 in a 5-year period. IRS rules are completely different than the VA
rules. They're different purposes.
They're different
Medicaid
everything.
says you can go buy yourself a car.
Yeah,
right?
you can do all that on the VA. So if you're $100,000 over
get me
assets,
a Ferrari.
Right.
yeah, you probably
Family
could
Ferrari.
do that.
FF.
You probably could do that. So the VA says that you have a 3-year look back divided by $2,000,
Right.
yeah, $2,200 a month. So if you have $100,000 too much, essentially that's a 44 month
yeah.
penalty period. with Medicaid, you can do these half a lows. We haven't gotten that in the VA plan.
So
you got to do a spend down.
How do you do that?
Well, first of all,
spend it
you
on?
start early if you can, and if you can't start early, you pay off the mortgage on the house, you pay off the car, you buy a car, you
Get a
fix
new
up
furnace,
the house,
get a new roof.
all that type of stuff to spend the money down.
So here's
you also
one,
can give money to a disabled child, and it's immediately protected from VA.
Put into a special needs trust kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You know, there is a difference. Because I went through this with my father,
Yeah.
who was a vet, and I remember we were
Right.
applying for his benefit, but then he passed away. When you have the nursing home situation, that's a crisis that comes up quickly. All of a sudden, an event happens, you go into rehab, and then the person needs to go into the nursing home because they're not good enough to go home.
Right.
In the situation with the VA benefit, you get more notice. You can see the decline in the need for care coming.
Right.
So it seems like you have more time to plan.
It doesn't count for
Often,
somebody
not
having a
always.
stroke.
I mean, a
or,
stroke, no.
Well,
right.
okay, let's put it this way.
With dementia.
We all know we're getting older. We all know that our parents are getting older. We can't wait till the last minute anymore. You have to start earlier. And this is what we see all the time in the seminars. They come in, I have a trust. I have a revocable trust. I'm covered under every situation manageable. No, a revocable trust is designed to avoid probate. It doesn't protect your assets for VA or Medicaid benefits. So you just have to start as early as you can to get the benefit.
Realistically, in the classic estate plan, the only document, if done right, that helps you for that planning is the durable power of attorney.
Yeah, that's the only
because
thing.
that gives you the tool to transfer and move assets
Right.
and create the other documents that are
Right.
needed for the Medicaid
Right.
planning or
Yeah.
for VA planning.
Yeah.
So here's the point. If you're a vet out there, there's still a great benefit, aid and attendance, which let's divide this into pies. One of the things we've often talked about is of the whole circle of vets out there, probably only 10% even know of the aid and attendance benefit being there.
If 10%.
Now the fact is, this rollback rule, or lookback rule, takes away and makes it more difficult to take that benefit. But the first step is, if you're in that situation, you should get a hold of Pat,
Right.
come in and find out, are you eligible? And then we'll
Right.
deal with the lookback rule. Even if you have a 20-month period where you're disqualified, in month 21, that's $2,200 a month.
Absolutely.
It's a great benefit.
Yeah, I
Because if
guarantee
it didn't exist, you're going to spend that money
more
anyway.
people
Correct.
are going to know about this new lookback period from this show. Not one vet got a letter from their VA worker saying, hey, we got a new law out
And
there.
nothing in the news.
Never.
You called me, told me about it. I
Never.
Googled it and found several
Yeah.
articles by a few lawyers
Yeah.
talking about it. No publicity. Because, well,
Never.
think about it. The VA never wanted to tell anybody about the benefit anyway. So by taking part of the benefit away with the lookback rule, they don't want to tell you about that either because then
Yeah.
you become aware of it.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. And if you look at who it's really hurting, World War II, World War I, they got the benefit. World War II, they got the benefit. Korea got the benefit. Who's getting hurt now? The Vietnam vets. Again, they're
which is
getting
the
it.
biggest.
They're getting it
which
again
is the baby
now.
boomers.
Yeah, they're getting it
Pat,
now.
thanks for bringing us up aware of the issue. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is a big benefit. If you got a VA issue, call Pat. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality. Thanks for tuning in.